Today it's myself, Kevin Toye, and as always, Lando. What's going on, dude?
Not much, man.
How about those Carolina Hurricanes pulling it off? I think I called it, didn't I? No, I definitely didn't call it. I called it Avalanche.
There might have been a chance that you said they might make it to the final.
I did say Carolina would be in the final against the Avalanche, but I definitely did not call the Avalanche, or I definitely called the Avalanche winning. Just making sure the chat box is open. So, yeah, today we got a couple good questions. One real hot topic that seems to be blowing the internet up. We're going to dive into that. But first, we got the headlines. Some crazy stuff making headlines. So, did you hear about that 7-year-old woman that was killed by that bison in South Dakota last month?
I read something briefly about that, and I spent a lot of time in Yellowstone.
Did you?
Yeah, doing a lot of snowmobiling down there and stuff like that. So
I forgot you were a pro snowboarder, not snowboarder, snowmobiler,
semi-professional snow machiner.
Yeah.
Machinist. But the amount of, and I don't know the situation exactly with this gal that unfortunately was killed, but the tourists that would get way too close to wild animals, man.
Oh.
Insane.
Yes. So to sum it up for those people who don't know, there was about a month ago, there was an elderly woman from Canada, a Canadian elderly woman. She was rammed by a very large bison, and she ended up dying in hospital. That happened in Custer State Park. That was last month. So they were originally going to kill this bison. There was a kill order for this bison. That has been retracted due to public backlash. So good news. Not for the dumb tourist, and I should not say dumb tourist. For the tourist. The bison lives on. He's going to carry out the rest of his days in Rosebud Sioux Tribe Game and Fish Park. So good for him. Chai Vang, I don't know. You were probably a youngster when this happened. This goes back to 2004. Do you remember that tree stand killer killed 6 guys that were deer hunting in Wisconsin?
I heard, like, way after it happened, I heard about it, and fortunately it was right in the middle of whitetail season, and I'm, going out to a public land.
Yeah, so this guy was a truck driver, and apparently there was this dispute. He was trespassing on some land. He got confronted by these 6 dudes that were deer hunting. He started shooting. 2 guys lived. They testified that what really happened, they didn't die from their injuries. Anyway, that guy died today at last week at 57 years old in prison. So good for him. What else we got going on? Mike Lee's at it again. If you're in the U.S., you guys stay up to date on this one. He is amending to repeal a roadless act. Here, I'm going to look this up real quickly. Yeah. I had this up, and then we started looking at Landon, and I started going on who's going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy.
That roadless rule, he's repealing it, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So that's big news. This freaking guy, dude, he just relentless. Yeah, absolutely relentless, this guy. Maybe he needs to go pet a buffalo. Anyway, you guys make sure you keep your eyes on for that. And we did talk about IP28. Go over to Howl for Wildlife's webpage. They got a big fundraiser to do for that. In BC, the wolf call renewal is up for 5-year renewal. The government is facing tons of backlash on this. So make sure you guys that are for the wolf call, save the caribou, save the moose. Now listen, we're not retarded. Can I say that? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Okay. We're not
saying it. You're saying it properly.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying it in terms of like the anti-hunters. Okay, maybe they are. Anyway, we're hip to the fact that wolves aren't the only thing causing the decline in moose and caribou numbers. They're very low on the list of what's actually causing the low numbers of caribou, especially caribou. Climate change, resource extraction, all that stuff plays a huge impact. And that's all due to us. Unfortunately, now the wolves are going to have to we're going to have to take it on the wolves. So that's in the headlines. Thanks a lot for the guys who got their questions in, got their topics in. I'm going to go through there. I'm going to get a hold of you guys, and I'm going to get you guys to email me. We got some hats and T-shirts to give away for you. The people whose names we do pick and the topics we cover, they're entered in a draw. So we've already touched on a couple of those. So keep them coming, guys. Love you. Topics for today. Aaron Snyder. Dun, dun, dun. Dude is in the media in a bad way. Fixed pins versus dial for bow sights. Very good. I feel like the we're going to get into that. I'm not getting into that right now. Mentorship ethics. There was a question about this. We're going to dive into that. So we're going to reference back to that question. Speaking of questions and topics. Right now we're in the middle of June. We should be training, guys. I went for a run today. I almost died. Literally. No, I felt pretty good, actually. I felt really good. So training, what's important, what's not, and Elk Scouting Tactics for the early summer. We're going to get into that for flatlands where Landon lives and the mountain stuff where I live. So we're going to dive into all that. But let's dive into this first question. Rocking the headlines. Aaron Snyder is in the hot seat and not in a good way. What's your take? Well, actually, some people might not know because until, was it today or yesterday when I texted you and I said, dude, what's going on with Aaron? What's going on with Snyder here?
That was yesterday. So I think that's when it all kind of unfolded, maybe Friday night, if you will.
Right. It unraveled.
Yeah, it's just a bad situation for him, the way things kind of unfolded. I wish there was more context to how this all came out, per se.
Yeah, me too. So let's recap for the people who don't know. So Aaron Snyder, who used to work for Kafaru, and then he went and worked for Born Primitive, and now he's freelance. We'll say that.
Yeah.
After this stuff came to fruition. So was it 7 years ago they were doing a coyote hunt?
That's what I heard 7 years ago on his buddy's property, rancher friend of his, I believe. And they were, just dusting some coyotes.
So they're shooting some coyotes, and they get up to one that's not dead. He pulls it out of the bush and stabs it with a knife. Just gives it a couple quick pokes. I don't know if anybody's seen the video. If you haven't, go over and look it up. Landon found it in 2 seconds, but he is a wizard with a computer. I couldn't find it. Of course, I didn't look. I just texted Lando, and he found it for me. Way easier doing it that way. But yeah, I watched the video. I mean, hindsight is perfect vision. But I mean, he's probably thinking I should have went back and just got the gun, because apparently there was a rifle in the quad, but it was a little bit of a walk back. Now I don't know how far the walk back was. It could have been 6 miles, knowing that guy. But yeah, not a great look. My question is, how did that video get out?
That is the question, because I feel like, people are prone to doing dumb shit. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying that everyone has done something along this lines where it's not ethical. However, I would seriously be a little agitated at a friend if that was the case.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if that video has always been out there and somebody just found it, which is very possible. I mean, it was 7 years ago or 8 years ago or whenever the heck it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would be very annoyed with my buddy. At the time, he's probably not thinking, they're probably just thinking, oh, this would be a funny video. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're killing a coyote, you're killing coyote. Whether you stab it or you shoot it or you kill it with a snare or a trap.
Yep.
Um,
Well, and that's the thing. I think a lot of it is the way he handled, like, pulling it out of the bush and the dog kinda looped on him, and he kinda tossed it, and then, running it down, and the coyote's obviously doing what coyotes do and trying to bite him, so he gives it a little tap in the head with his foot. I wouldn't say like he did a river dance on the thing.
no, definitely not.
It's and even Aaron referenced this in one video he put out talking about this thing. It's just a really bad image for hunters. And it sucks because that I mean, it was just a poorly executed kill on a
Not his
coyote.
best, not his best moment for sure. And now I know, I mean, I don't know Aaron Snyder that well. I've chatted with him a few times. I know him just mostly what you see, and a lot of what you see is obviously only what people want you to see.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't what he gets remembered by, because the dude, I know for a fact the dude has done a lot of great things for wildlife in terms of conservation funding, in terms of, money raised, helping new hunters, helping educate ethical hunting, all that stuff. His time with Kafaru and even his short time with Born Primitive. I mean, like I said, he wasn't doing anything illegal.
I mean, that's the topic, right? You got a lot of the antis that are saying that, it's cruelty to animals. Well, I mean, I don't think in that video there's enough evidence to prove that a wild animal is trying to attack you while you're dispatching it. Sure, is the method of killing it ideal? Well, killing things is always ugly.
Oh, it is. And I think if any of those people who are referencing death actually seen death firsthand, they'd be singing a different tune. But unfortunately, there's nothing pleasant about death. And the death that we provide animals, for the most part, is a lot less violent, I should say, than actual death in the wildlife, in the
Oh,
wild, with wildlife, in terms
oh,
of like um starvation, um, you know,
yeah.
predation. It's not pretty. And
Uh,
but unfortunately, wherever there's life, there's death. I mean, it is what it is. Whether you're human or whether you're part of the or whether you're a predator on the landscape, whether you're, a non-predator like a deer, everything serves a purpose. So,
yeah, I think the like our job as hunters is to, ultimately we want that animal to die as quick as possible, as ethically as possible. If anyone that's seen predators take down an animal, they start eating it before it's dead. And I mean,
yeah,
that's
they
been
eat it
taught.
at they they disassemble its back legs and they eat it from the softest part up, and it's still alive, and it is absolutely horrific. Um, you know, I don't know. I like I said, hindsight for everyone is perfect vision. When it's easy to say I should have did this. Now, yes, I mean, I'm not going to argue with the way it looks. It looks bad, right?
Yep.
It looks bad, and you can spin it any way you want. I mean,
Yeah.
um, just
It's
a
a
bad
bad
look.
it's It's a bad look, man. And
so Aaron, he stepped down. Well, Born Primitive let him go. So he said he's stepping away from the space. Probably a good thing. I want to get into a couple other things, but I want to talk about this a little bit more. Now, yes, I think he should have got back and got the gun. I'm still like super curious as to how that video got out. Do you think him and his buddy had a fallout and he was like, F you, man? Ba-bing!
oh, I mean, I don't know. The other thing is like you said, that thing's being 7 years old. Was that floating around back in, maybe it was
cloud
posted
or
down
was
and
the cloud around 7 years ago?
7 years ago. I don't know. Maybe it was like on his MySpace page.
It could have been. Who knows? Could have been floating around somewhere. Like, what was it before Facebook?
MSN.
Oh, there was something before Facebook. Oh, I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up while you're talking.
But yeah, that is a thing. I genuinely don't know, and maybe in the future that will come out. How, regardless of how that footage came out, that was, it was kind of crappy the way it went down.
You're right. It was MySpace. Well, good call, dude. Great call.
Showing my age.
Yeah. Hip. Yeah. I don't know. So now everybody's harping on Aaron Snyder. Now there's some dudes, I'm not going to mention any names, but give me a break, man. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Right now, what you're doing, just effing stop. Stop. Okay, this has nothing to do with you. Right? It happened. You and I are talking about it. This does not change my opinion on Aaron Snyder at all. I think the guy's still, from the conversations I've had with him, he's a great stand-up dude. Always polite, always considerate. I'm not going to let this video have any negative effect on my opinion of him. Yes, he probably could have did it a little better. Dude, like, do we want to get into the stuff I've done in my life? Because it ain't pretty. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a good thing there isn't a camera with everything. You just put that into perspective. If there was a camera on you for every stupid thing you've done in your life, there'd probably be a lot of stupid shit floating around the internet, myself included.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Think of like the jail. You show me the difference between stupid and ignorant. Man, the jails would be full. Right?
Oh, yeah. And I get what you're saying about there's certain individuals that are really getting on their soapbox.
Oh, dude.
And preaching like forgiveness or, we need to be better.
Disappointment.
Exactly.
The disappointment gets me. Number one, the dude was hunting coyotes. Now, is there any law that says you cannot kill a coyote? Or, hey, I'm going to tell you a funny story. So when I was like 9 years old, I was driving with our neighbor, and I was friends with it. Like, we're all buddies growing up on the same block. The dude, well, he's dead now, so it doesn't matter if I tell the story. But back in the day, it was allowed. He hit a deer when we were driving. Deer was flopping around. He got out with his knife, cut its throat, pushed the ditch. The deer was suffering, right? Put it out of his misery. That's what they used to do. So Aaron goes up, he shoots it, he kills it, finishes it off with a knife. Show me where it says that that's illegal. It's not illegal. Whether you agree with it or not, if it's not illegal, let it go. This has nothing to do with you. Don't say you're disappointed. Like, shut the F up, man. Go back to doing your YouTube videos. Come on.
Yeah.
You're with it here.
I don't know. At some point, and I mean, some people just should, you can state your opinion. That's fine.
Or don't say anything at all.
Don't get
like, you know what? I don't agree with the way that was handled. I don't agree with it either. Have I done dumb stuff in my life? Absolutely. 100%. I have. I'm no angel. Even though I might look like an angel, I'm no angel. Trust me.
That sounds like it should be a TLC reference or something. I don't want no scrubs.
Oh, right. Oh, man. Anyway, busting up the headlines. But this thing's going to die over. It always does. People forget about it real quick.
Yep.
They always do. Fix pins or dial for bow sights? I love this question because I feel like the fix pins are fading out, and I don't think they should be. And I'm not talking about like a 5-pin slider. I'm talking about a true fixed pin bow sight.
Yep. I am going to agree with you on that because
I think one of the most overrated or underrated tools or assets any bow hunter can have is the ability to hold over with his pins.
To pin gap. Man, I've had this conversation with so many people. It's actually like even in hunting situations where they have the animal at 40 yards with a multi-pin slider where they have a pin that goes past that distance and they still want to scroll to have their top pin at that distance.
Yes, to have their indicator pin at that exact distance instead of doing exactly what the 5-pin slider is meant for.
Yep.
It's meant to be a fixed position, a fixed pin scope, sight when you need it. I feel like every new archer should shoot fixed pins. I really do. I think, yes, it's going to suck at the beginning, but I just think the value you're going to get out of it is so much more important later on in your bow hunting career.
Yep.
You're more in tune with judging distance when you're pin gapping. Everything has to be more acute. Everything you're doing, you have to be more, you just don't rely on your rangefinder and your dial as much. Well,
Yeah.
that deer moved to that tree. Okay, well, from that tree is a half a meter across and it moved half a meter back, or it moved half a tree back, or two full trees back. Okay, well, that's a meter, right? So now I know. So I got to start moving my pin up a little bit, right? It was at 28, now it's at 29, now it's at 30. Okay, perfect, my 30 pin. Just understanding that.
Yeah, and on that note of a multi-pin slider, I feel like it's almost redundant for a lot of guys because they'll go and they never practice.
I'm glad you said that because I agree with you. And I don't like to agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I love agreeing with you when we're talking. On the panel, I like to disagree with you.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to. I feel sorry for you.
Sometimes you say things that are absolute genius. Other times, just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber.
Go and pull a stunt like that.
I agree with you. I think a lot of guys are just running the 5-pin or the 3 or 5-pin fit like the slider just because other guys are that, and they just think, oh, well, Brian Barney's doing it. He's running a 5-pin slider. I got to run a 5-pin slider. And then not using the 5-pin in the facet that is meant to be run, with the purpose that it's meant to be used for.
Yep.
They're always just dialing. Well, if you're going to just dial, why don't you just run a single pin post?
Have a clearer sight.
It's going to free up your sight picture. I'm running a single pin right now. Set it up today.
Man, they do have their place.
I loved it.
They like if you want to go and shoot like tournaments and stuff like that, not hunt.
No, I mean, if you're going to dial anyway, why don't you just use a single pin? What difference does it make? Why do you need 5?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the amount of people that don't utilize the extra pins, like I have a buddy that is why he shoots a single pin. He said, I shoot so much better scrolling, and if I don't have time, then I just obviously will not take that shot. And that's just, he's a very effective bow hunter.
That's a very good way of approaching it. It's a lot better than being like, well, I'm going to do, yeah, I just, to me, it just defeats the whole purpose. I think everybody at some point in their bow hunting career should shoot a fixed pin. Shoot some 3D with it.
Mm-hmm.
Practice with it. Utilize it. There's a reason. And if you're not going to shoot a fixed pin for like in the way it's is designed for, then just shoot a single pin. That single pin on that boonie I'm shooting, dude, lights out. I don't want to sit here and talk about the boonie, but the boonie is one solid sight.
Spot Hog is known for making great products.
Yeah, it's so much lighter than like the Fast Eddy.
And that, yeah. Well, and the extra features they put on that. Yeah, not getting on the boonie trail.
No, we're not getting on the boonie. Anyway, fixed pin, dial. I think if you're going to run fixed, like I think everybody should shoot some fixed pins. I think it's going to tighten up your bow hunting game.
If you're shooting a fixed pin slider once a week, I like shooting a 3D round and actually using my fixed pins. Like that's how you shoot the round. And it's not for score. It's just genuine hunting practice.
Well, even if you're going to, like when I shoot out my front yard, I'll just walk from the target, turn around and range. Typically what I do is I turn around, I guess the range, then I range it. Usually bang on,
Standard, of course.
And then I just pin gap.
Let me tell you, if an elk came in and you were at full draw, would you let down to like sub 30, sub 40 yards? Are you going to let down? Or are you going to...
If you let down at that close, you're probably not going to come to full draw again because he's going to bolt.
That's what
Unless you got really good cover and it's blowing in your direction a heck of a lot to hide any sound you're making.
Solo hunting, and that's why I feel like running a pretty flat shooting setup is beneficial as well, because if...
We'll save that for the boonie conversation.
All right.
Okay. Mentorship ethics. So we had you got that on your phone handy? Or
that was a question. Oh, I'm going to butcher this name. Oh, Sharm Etegeli. I hope it didn't. Yeah, I destroyed that. So, but that's okay. He'll get over it. He asked a question about taking a guy out for the first time, and he was, showing this guy kind of the ropes bear hunting, and it wasn't going great as far as the attitude.
Yes, I like this question a lot. So thanks, buddy, for writing it. So he goes out there, he's getting attitude. He's not seeing I could just do it. I could picture this too. Like I could totally picture this happening.
100.
Like you take a guy out and he wants to hunt. He has no idea how hard hunting is. Right? He goes out and he thinks, oh, we're just going to go drive around. It's going to be really easy. We're going to shoot a deer. He's going to show me how to gut it or skin it. And we're going to pack it to the truck. And I'll get it butchered. It'll be great. Has meat in the freezer.
Yeah, forget about it. Perfect.
Easy. And then reality sits in. Well, this isn't hard. This isn't easy. It's extremely hard. And then he starts getting, whiny. He gets getting tired. He's getting hungry. His old lady's texting him, "When are you gonna be home? When are you gonna be home?
The
When are you gonna
kids
be home?
I can't
When are you
do
gonna be
this.
home? I made dinner. When are you gonna be home?"
Life sets in.
Dude, that ain't even life. I'm going hunting. I'll be back when I'm back. If you don't hear from me in 3 days, I'm dead, or I'm still hunting.
Just wait longer.
If you don't hear from me in 3 days, just wait longer. Exactly. No, dude, I could see it. I mean, do you take that guy out again? Hell no, I don't take that guy out again. They're like, dude, no.
I think,
Sucked.
and this is something I think that lacks in the world today, is just be straightforward with them. And a lot of people don't like that when you're like, man,
I thought you were gonna say like testosterone or manliness or grit. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
well, I mean, that's lacking as well. But just say, look, man, you're kind of a bitch when we were out. You were whining consistently. I'm taking time, my personal time, out in the woods. And I mean, unless there's something else that, like, this sounds self-centered, but why should you? I mean, mentorship is a great thing, and I've been very fortunate that I've took a lot of guys out.
Mentorship is one of the most important pieces of anyone's hunting. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't have mentorship. A lot of people don't understand the value of mentorship. A lot of guys go at it on their own and they do it the hard way. And eventually, you know what? They figure it out. It's just a hard road. I was very fortunate to have a great mentor. A lot of things I just prefer to figure out my own though as well, right? So, and a lot of things changed. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things change as you go through your hunting career. So, but I feel like if somebody's taking time away from their hunt, which is very valuable because when we go to hunt, it takes time away from work. Not always, but a lot of the time it takes time away from duties around the house, wife, kids, girlfriend, all that stuff. And when you take time away from your hunt to share it with a friend or with a new hunter, man, you know,
Yeah.
they got to value and appreciate that.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to be completely rude about that situation, but I think having a actual talk with them and being truthful about it, it will help their hunting experience down the road too.
You mean being truthful with the guy that was just a shithead?
Yeah, that he took out and that
yeah.
was complaining and stuff, and being like, you know, fully transparent and being like, dude, hunting, it's you're hunting 95-98% of the time. It's not exciting.
It's boring. That's the best part of taking your wife out. Like, we've all done it. You take your wife out or your girlfriend, and she's like, well, this isn't fun at all.
Why do you enjoy this?
What do you think? Like, I don't understand. You think, like, what do you think it was going to be like?
Yeah.
It's not. Most of the time it's uneventful and pure misery. And then it gets really good. And then it's awesome.
That's the thing. And I feel like if you can get that point across and they want to,
maybe that's the thing too, dude. Maybe you're right. Maybe he should have just been like, listen, we're going to go hunting. We're going to get up early. We're going to walk a lot until your feet hurt so much you think you can't walk any further. And then we're going to walk a little further. And then when all that's done, when you really think you can't walk anymore, then you're going to realize that we have to walk our asses all the way back the same way we came. And that's going to suck even more. And you know what? We're probably not going to see anything. It's probably going to be, it might even rain. It might snow. Or it's going to be extremely hot, which is no better.
And then we're going to walk in the dark.
And then if we shoot something, we're going to blood trail it. It might even be dark when we blood trail it. And we're probably going to have a run-in with or hear some bears or some wolves or something else that wants what we just killed. And then we're going to cut it up and we're going to pack it back to the truck. And it's going to take even longer because we're probably going to have to do 2 trips depending on what you're hunting. Or we're just going to have to go slower, which is going to take even longer. So it's not going to be great. Maybe that's what you should say. That's what I say to all my buddies who want to come hunt with me.
You're going to be having the worst time imaginable. That's what's going to happen.
My buddies actually know what is going to happen because I made, like, any of my friends, none of my, like, old friends that I grew up with, none of them want to hunt with me anymore. They're like, no, that's just stupid. I'm not doing that. Because the very first time I take them out hunting, I make sure we go into, like, the most unforgiving hellhole you could find, and we have to stay overnight, not plan to stay overnight. So you got to sleep against a tree and then walk out. Yeah, you set the tone, right? And then they're just like, okay, I don't want to hunt with you anymore. I was thinking we were going to drive around, drink some beer. No.
Kick it old school.
Old school. That's what you want to do. That you go hunt with my dad, right? Don't shoot anything.
That's the thing I really enjoy for mentoring, especially new bow hunters, is bear baiting, because there is work involved, but it's pretty cushy. It's very cushy.
Well,
but you don't sleep.
I don't think it's very cushy.
It's I don't know. You're sleep deprived. I don't know.
We'll just say that. I mean, you're up at 3, you go to bed 11. You don't sleep during the day, unless you're Pete and you just sleep in the tree stand because you shoot a big bear on the first day and don't. Actually, Pete slept in after all of the days. He's like Wyatt too. Wyatt, he's in the tree stand an hour and a half, and he shoots a big bear. That's even worse than Pete. And then he's sleeping in every morning.
You know what? I want that. That's what I want.
No, you don't. I think Pete actually did. He got up quite a few of the mornings.
Oh, yeah.
I think he got up just to say bye, fellas, and went back to bed.
He was good. He was good. He was there baiting. He was doing the work.
Yeah, but no, I know.
It's tough with mentorship. And another thing is, like, that is a topic around every guy in the hunting space, is spot giving up.
Ooh, dude.
Hot topic. Because
hot topic. We've talked about this.
That's another thing with mentorship. You have to.
And I mean, one time you're taking a guy out to film a hunt, and the next day you show up in your spot, and he's there. Oh, hey man, what are you doing? I'm not going to mention any names, Jake.
I didn't know you knew this spot, man. Yeah, but no, that's another thing too. And whether it's,
I don't think you should take first-time hunters to your really good spot.
Probably a good tip.
Yeah, maybe just dip their toes in the water with some, like, Forestry Service roads, some grouse hunting, maybe some early August rabbit hunting.
Yeah.
Let's see how you like it. Anyway, in terms of that question, mentorship ethics, I think, yeah, like Lando said, just be honest, let him know what he's getting into, and say, hey man, what do you expect out of this hunt? Because if you think it's going to be all cushy, it's not. And even if it is cushy, like, even if you go out there and you got freaking 15 turkeys gobbling at you the first morning, make sure he knows, be like, hey man, it ain't never going to be like this again.
That's exactly how turkey hunting is every time. Be straight with them.
Yeah. This is how it's supposed to be. All right, training. What's important, what's not? Mid-June. What's important right now is doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to do what Weston Home was doing? No.
If you have the time and determination to do what Weston's doing, I mean, good on you. Guy's slugging it.
Yeah. So today I went for a run, first run in almost a year, actually over a year. I didn't check my Instagram, but it was probably on my Instagram last time I went and run. I think it was over a year, or like 14 months. I was actually just hoping to do a 10K run in under an hour, and I did around 50 minutes. And my normal route, I was doing 13K in about 42, 44 minutes, around there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to get a few runs in a week and hoping to get back in there hoping to get back to that time by mid-August. My goal. That's running at like a 450 pace.
Yeah, with the like, there's a decent amount of elevation gain and stuff like that where you're running too. Like you're moving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt really good today. Really good for the first half kilometer. The other 9.5 were hell.
I wasn't even breathing heavy. Then I got to the end of my driveway. It was awesome.
It's awesome. No, but anyway, so training, what's important? What's not important? What's the most important is to just build a practical routine that you're going to be able to do between now and September and stick with it and factor in holidays. So if you're going on a 2-week vacation and you're building a routine that's heavy oriented around the gym and nothing else, and you're going on a 2-week vacation, and then you're going to sit there and say, well, I went on vacation, so I couldn't do my workouts because there was no gym around. Like, that's a bonehead move.
Yeah. I feel like days off and vacations, that's an opportunity to get more exercise in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it should be. I mean, build a routine about, do the things that you like to do and some things that you don't like to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of, stepping out of your comfort zone, especially if there's only 2.5 months of training before September starts. And if you're heavy into hunting over training, you're always going to prioritize the hunt over the training.
Yep.
So like for me, I'll never prioritize some training over some hunting. I'm always going to go hunting. Always. So most of the time I go hunting over prioritizing other shit in my life that I probably should prioritize over hunting. So I'm guilty of that. We talked about one of my many flaws. That's one of the long lists of flaws. And like, if we were going to write them down on a piece of paper, like if you ask my wife, she's got a booklet on the flaws I have. So that is one of them. I like to run. I'm going to try to run 3 days a week, and I'm going to try to weight train twice a week. I'm going to do legs. So I'm going to do a run, legs, upper body, and then another run in there somewhere.
Yeah.
5 days a week. It's going to give me a 2-day grace period. So if something happens on a Tuesday and I don't get a run in, okay, like I'm going bear hunting Monday. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. I'm going to do legs. It's Monday. I'm going to go bear hunting Monday night. I'm probably not going to get back till midnight if I don't kill anything. If I kill something, probably a little later. I'm not getting up at 3:30 to work out at 4. So that's going to be one of my days off.
Yeah.
So then I'll pick up the slack on a Wednesday. That way I like the 2 days, gives me a little grace period right now, right? But I'm hunting right now. If I wasn't hunting, then I would build a more specific routine and it would be a lot more heavy into the training. So if I kill a bear this week, I'm not going to try to fill my second tag. I'm going to save that for the fall. I could have a more structured training schedule where it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Knowing and planning and knowing what's coming up on the calendar. If I'm going to be out of town, I'm going to plan my 2 runs for the days I'm out of town, because you could run anywhere. Bring your runners, right? You could do any exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever it is. Like, build a routine around that. I say that's the most important thing, consistency. Don't overdo it. Do what you can to the best of your ability. Challenge yourself. Yes, push yourself. Don't just go on the bike for 20 minutes, watch some TV, and pedal at a casual rate and be like, I'm
Yeah,
solid.
got it in. Got it in.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. I'm kind of doing the 3 days of cardio,
A
and
month or a week?
yeah, a year. No, doing the runs, getting back on the runs, coupled with biking with my family every day, which is just a good warm up.
Yeah, it is.
We,
You got the
and
kid a new bike.
new bike, big thing. Probably got 20 plus K on that thing already, and had it for only a few days. So, and I mean that's what you're talking about earlier, Kev, with the it's just relaxed, but at least you're getting the motion in. Another big thing is just time on your feet. That I
Dude,
think
I need less time on my feet.
me as well. But that's also I find, especially back to the mentorship question, a lot of guys struggle with spending time on their feet all day on their feet. It's something that if you're not acclimated to it, it's
Yeah,
tax.
it could drain you for sure. And if you're
So
not wearing the right boots, Aku.
Aku, 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 however you say it. And that is a thing, right? So I think although biking is great, I love biking. There is something to say about hip movement and running. Just getting steps in is important. Time on your
I
feet.
think in terms of cardio, I think running is the best for
Yeah,
cardio. Maybe swimming might be better, but I'm not a swimmer. So I
yeah,
think in terms of like pure cardiovascular, building like endurance, running is the best. Uphill, you know, not just like running on a track, uphill. Like even when I run on the treadmill, I'll put it to an incline always and just stay at that pace.
yeah,
One thing I like to do when I'm running on the treadmill, now that I'm getting back into running, is I like running a faster distance, like zero point 0.9 of a kilometer, and doing a light jog or a fast paced walk for zero point 0.1 of a kilometer. And then running at a faster pace and then walking, right? And just
yeah.
doing that. It kind of
And
it's a little bit less monotonous.
I'm glad you brought that up because back when I originally started like marathon training and stuff, like zone 2 is always the talk, right? Like
Dude, I was definitely not in zone 2 today. I looked down at my watch, I was like, "Whoo, I'm redlining, and
I'm dead.
I like it."
But that was something that I took really to heart was like your slow runs are important, like that 6 minute pace and trying to keep that heart rate in like a more comfortable level. And I always felt like if I pushed like on my tempo runs, if I wanted to walk in between, I felt like I was a failure because I was out for a run and I wanted to get my X distance in. Dude,
Yeah.
walking, intermittent walking during like a tempo run or whatever run,
Mhm.
it makes the run so much more enjoyable.
Well, I only like doing it on the treadmill when I'm running. The problem I have when I run is that my pace always creeps up too high. So I have to really control my pace. Like today when I was running, I looked down at my watch and I was running like 4:2, and I was like, "Whoa, I'm running way too fast. I'm gonna burn out here quick."
This guy's sprinting.
And so I have to tone it back. But normally, like when I run, I'm running about like a 4:5, which is pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
And I maintain that for 20. I'll do my 20-kilometer loop, and I'm running around that, like 4:5, 4:55, when I was running all the time. But I just enjoy doing it. Like I like to do it fast. I just want to get it. Trying to beat that last time.
Well, and the other thing is, as working guys with families that life is busy, I'm trying to get my run done and out of the way.
Yeah, I know. That's been the biggest battle this year is rushing my workouts. I
Yeah.
have to really focus on putting my damn phone away when I wake up because I get on there and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to do a post on YouTube." And then, I try to do it and I screw it up and I got to redo it or I don't like it or I don't know how to spell a word and I got to look up that word. or I got to text you and ask
45
you how to
minutes.
do it. And then by that time, it's like, well, damn, now I got to go to work. So I got to really like not even look at the phone, have a cup of coffee, get things moving, and then do my workout.
Yeah.
I tried for the longest time to cut the coffee out in the morning before I went for a run. That didn't work out. That was a no-go. Don't do that. Not recommended. Have the
Yeah.
coffee first.
Caffeine's important.
Well, it is for sure.
I feel like whatever you can do to just get that VO2 max up. And I feel like you also want to make sure you can handle some weight. So that's why I think weight training is super
And
valuable.
stretching too. Dudes in their 40s stretch. I do not stretch enough. I'm going to be better.
Yeah.
I need to be better.
You feel better when you do it.
I'm going to Aaron Snyder this, and I'm going to be better at stretching.
I don't know if that works here, but I appreciate the reference.
Okay. Yeah, I need to work on my stretching, put my phone away. I'm going to cardio 3 times a week, weight train twice a week. And I'm only weight training twice a week. Right now, I am doing most of the laboring at work. So I feel like I'm getting a lot of weight training in all day.
Yeah.
We have a young guy that's supposed to be doing the laboring, but he's figured out a very crafty strategy. I'm going to do my job extremely poorly and slow, so Kevin will just do it for me.
That's a good play. That is a smart play.
Smart play. It is. For
now, the physical aspect of work, it helps too. Be the guy that grabs the sledgehammer.
Yeah, for sure. And I work a lot smarter. Like when I used to just carry heavy buckets and stuff and scaffolding, I used to if I'm carrying heavy buckets, I'm going to utilize like the farmers carry and do it. Right. I'm going to make sure everything's tight, take longer steps, longer strides.
Do lunges with your with your buckets.
Plank over my back. No, I wouldn't do that. That'd be a little much. Anyways, guys, so right now, find a routine, something that you like doing. I'd say weight train at least 2 to 3 times a week, cardio 2 to 3 times a week, 5 days a week. If you can swing it, that's good enough. Just do something that you're going to be able to do from now to September. You don't have to go crazy. It's more important to work on other things, which we're going to talk about right now in our elk scouting tactics early summer.
Yep.
Dude, how pumped are you right now for elk hunting?
I mean, I've seen a big herd yesterday, so it was pretty.
In that spot you showed me?
This was close to home.
Oh, really?
And I don't have a tag in that zone.
Oh.
But it just got me fired up regardless.
Is it possible for you to get a tag in that zone? Are your draws announced yet?
Draws just came out. So
Did you get anything?
I got absolutely nothing. The only thing I'm holding out for is potentially antelope, which I'll find out in July.
Right.
But I just,
when is the antelope draw for? I don't know why we're talking about this. Anyway, forget that. Okay, elk scouting tactics, early summer.
Sean Fontaine asked about this question.
Did he?
In our questions. He
early dude, man.
Elk scouting. Yeah, I'm fired up for elk hunting. A big thing that I think people get hung up on here is they are finding elk in the summertime, and they are being very presumptuous, thinking that there's going to be elk there come hunting season.
Ooh. Been there, done that.
Because, hasn't worked out well for me.
No. I learned real quickly not to do that. I learned real quickly to utilize that transition area to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not, if you're finding elk right now in specific areas, those are most likely aren't going to be the areas you want to hunt come end of August, early September.
Yep. I feel like right now I can better utilize my time like exploring new areas that I know have the potential to hold elk and just finding my ways around them.
Yes. So like my scouting early season, like my scouting tactics for early summer are areas that if you go into my Onyx, which other than Jake, you're probably not going to have access to. He's probably got, when I fell, one thing about hunting with Jake, when he falls asleep, he's probably, going through my Onyx, checking out all my pins, writing them down. But last September, I found a whole bunch of rubs. Found a wallow. I found some feeding areas, some bedding areas. I put a pin in my phone. I'm going to go back there this summer early. After I'm done bear hunting, I'm going to go back to those areas and I'm going to scout those areas. I'm going to do essentially the exact same thing you talked about. I'm going to find corridors. I'm going to find, obviously, I found some bedding areas. I'm going to find more bedding areas. Rubs, feeding grounds, water, where they're getting the water from. Is there more than one water source? Pressure, zones of pressure. How are they transitioning in and out of pinch points?
Yep.
What's my access like? Thermals. If they're here and if the water's down here, thermals are going to carry the wind up here. Where do I need to be? All these little things, right? Kind of build a mental playlist in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I am and not to mention, I am going to trail camera the shit out of that area.
Yep.
Because those elk, you're not going to find any elk in there. I know for a fact I'm going to go in there and not see any elk. I'm going to put trail cameras in there. I'm going to come back in the 3rd week of August, and I guarantee there will be elk on those trail cameras.
Yeah, that's smart move. For me, lots of the areas that I predominantly go and like are the exploring areas, I guess, like not the already proven locations.
New areas.
New areas. Thank you. As you seen when you were up in northern Saskatchewan this spring, the flow of water and what beavers can do in these slough areas, the whole
It'll blow your mind.
It's a completely different area. So you really have to like check in on that because you won't have the access that you had. So maybe that's finding new trails, or you can do a loop around. And some of these pieces of public are 3/4 of land that are completely landlocked on 3 sides.
Dude, so, I really have a hard time. So I didn't listen to half the stuff you just said.
Okay.
You know what I was thinking about while you were talking? How in the hell do you elk hunt in that stuff that you're elk hunting in, that we were bear hunting in?
Yeah, it's
you have no elevation. You have no drainages. You can't, I can literally, we could go elk hunting and I can tell you, basically look at my watch and be like, thermals are going to switch right now. And for the most part, they'll start switching.
Yeah,
cover. It's wild to that is just flat and as thick as 70s bush could be.
It's a lot of still hunting, and it's
like you have to be a very good caller, I think.
That's why I have to lean on calling, because you can't I wish I could hunt them like mule deer. Like I see a lot of guys in these different places, they're glassing them at a distance, and then they're making a strategic plan. I don't know how you could go and kill a herd bull in lots of these spots. Some of them, like in open areas, it does happen. Aside from calling, because it is so dense that it makes it extremely difficult to.
Well, and you can't get any elevation, right? And like elk, like in BC, so where I hunt, and other places like the Kootenays, you always want to maintain elevation with elk. So the biggest thing is, if I'm not heavily on calling because I can also utilize the topography and everything else to my advantage. You could just listen and hear elk moving around, but you always want to maintain the same height or get higher than them when you're moving in on them. You never want to be below them because they're just going to keep moving up, moving up, moving up, and you'll never catch them. So before you even do any calling or do any setups or even get into a position where you want to make a stalk, you always got to be thinking elevation. How can I get in front of these guys or on the same height as these guys, right? The same plateau, so they're not just going to keep pushing up and busting out.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. But that's another reason, since we don't have that here, I do utilize my saddle a lot, and I kind of whitetail hunt elk also on public pieces that I have. Like
You hunt the same methods as you do whitetail.
Exactly. So back on the topic of beavers and how they create funnels on these pieces of public, the elk will follow that dam because for them to get to their feeding area, it's either they swim across the sloughs or they follow the one path that is made there within like a 1 mile area. So that's something in the spring I'll kind of look for a beaver dam crossing like that. And that is something that I will utilize as a pinch point because they actually use those dams to traverse across as a bridge.
That's a great point because we've seen the whitetail utilize that exact same thing. Like when we were bear hunting, we had like 5 or 6 whitetails walking the same 2 paths.
Yep. That's the method. It's the play.
So anyway, to the question, if you're finding elk in areas now, don't count on them being there unless it's like heavy ag land and they have no reason to leave. If they've got water, food, shelter, no pressure, they're most likely going to be maybe not in the exact spot, but they're not going to be, they might just be local elk. And that does happen. You do get local herds of elk. They're smaller. They like to just, it's kind of like city bucks rolling around town here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No reason to go anywhere.
Yeah, no reason to go anywhere. And it's bred in them to behave like that. They watch their mother do it. It's just they're following the same tradition that their mother did, and so on and so on. But those are very rare, and you need access to those private land parcels. Not easy to do. You can hunt fence lines. I've done that. It's a very effective tool. Hunting the fence lines, we could talk about that another time.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a lot of years, just hunted fence lines. It can be very, very effective.
Yep. One thing I will add to the summer and spring scouting for elk, and I think Sean mentioned this in his question to us, is the rubs in the area. He said there wasn't any. Like you talked about, Kev, those rubs that are from last season, keep those in your mind. Like if you find like a bull staging area, lots of times
put a pin on it.
Put a pin on it.
put a pin on it. Dude, those things are pure gold.
If they are going to stage there, there's a good chance they stage there almost every year.
And
Early,
not to mention, bulls traveling. They're going to spot check those. They're going to spot check those all the time.
mm-hmm.
So you could, it could be September, hunting season could be open. You're going to get a random bull who's just on the prowl for hot cows, right? He couldn't get in the mix he got kicked out of the other. There was a more dominant herd bull that kicked him out. So now he's just cruising for lone cows. He's going to check that. If he's walking by an area and he smells that, he's going to come check that. Guaranteed.
Yep. That's a really good point. That scent, that other bull scent, he's going to be like, what's up?
Dude, I've had trail cameras on places like that before, and you just get these one and done bulls walk in, check things out, never see them again, right? They're just traveling. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up and get your comments in. What's the date today? The 14th. Buying a harness is going out pretty quick. Lana's going to pick a winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
On the 20th.
On the 20th, we're going to announce it. So next month, we are giving away, I'm just going to fade out of scene here and leave. We have a fire maple cooker we're giving away.
Pretty sweet rig.
Yeah, brand new. I even have the box. Now, I just want to mention one thing, guys. The stuff that we're giving away, Landon and I are also going to be doing gear reviews on this stuff on the 9 to 5 Hunt Co. channel. So I am going to do a gear review on this. So when you get the stuff from us, expect it to be used a few times. Please understand we're buying this stuff with our own money. We're trying to get an understanding of whether or not it's worth it for you to buy it. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be destroyed. It's going to be lightly used.
Yeah, it's going to be lightly used. Yeah, it's not going to be destroyed, right? Like I'm not taking this hunting, but I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to use it. I'm going to boil some water with it. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to mess around with it. I'm going to do a review video, and then we're going to give it away. So next month is the fire maple stove. I even kept the box for that specific reason. I don't normally keep boxes or instructions. I don't believe in either.
That would be embarrassing if you did.
Okay, guys. Till the next one. On Instagram, Kevin L. Toye. We're still working on Lando's handle. He didn't I don't think he was hip. You guys would love to hear you. Comment below what you guys think of this. On Instagram, what did I put? I gotta look it up.
Lando official.
I love it. I think he should change his and it's available. That's the biggest thing. Oh yeah. The Lando official. Dude, you wouldn't believe how many people have the Lando or Lando handle.
It's popular, man. It's banging. All right, man.
Later.